Aloha. Time out. I don't know why this is backwards, but let me see if I can flip this. That's what I thought. There we go. Anyhow, aloha and welcome to tonight's Spiritual Image Productions and Aloha Ascension Experts Ascended Citizen Update. Sure, why not, right? First of all, I want to congratulate Taylor Swift on becoming AMA's Artist of the Decade this past Sunday at the AMA Awards, and I don't know. There's some people that are kind of pissed off and jealous because she's become Artist of the Decade, and I don't know. Does she deserve it? She's put a lot into her career, and so, you know, it is what it is, regardless of whether she deserves it or not. So that's where the cookie crumbles, right? For all those people that are jealous and they can't hang with it, you know. And I've said this before. I think that when people become famous or very popular, there's always some idiot that's jealous, gets jealous of their popularity or whatever, and you know, it gets old. So it would, you know, if people just were to just deal with it and get their head out of their ass, then there would be a lot less violence, I think, and a lot less problems going on. So anyhow, and just as an aside, I threw this in there just for the hell of it. Tesla and Ford had a truck face-off. They had a truck pulling a contest, and Tesla just ran over Ford. And they were making up all these excuses. Oh, the Ford was lighter than the Tesla and all this stuff, blah blah blah. Well, you know, if they had an agreement on terms and on the terms set, then that would have been one thing. But you know, I don't know that they had any agreement in terms of how heavy the truck could be, and the Tesla truck was all-wheel drive instead of two-wheel drive. Well, you know, if you come up with some kind of a plan of agreement, then that's a whole different ballgame. But they had the face-off, and Tesla just blew Ford away, right? So and apparently the truck isn't supposed to come out till 2022, the Tesla truck, but and they're saying that maybe they'll have another face-off then again. So who knows what'll happen. Now, oh my God, President Donald Trump, and you know, I say president with tongue in cheek because this man is so close to getting the boot, and but amazingly enough, I don't, you know, I've been looking at all the different arguments, and I think it's safe to say that although, and I think I have already said that, although Donald Trump had the right idea in terms of what needed to happen or what he wanted to do, he went, you know, it's like with Aries people, you know, if you're an Aries, there's two types of Aries people, and they're both leaders. They can go both get the job done, and they can go both kick ass, but the difference is in the listening skills. Literally, that's the difference, is listening skills. One leader will hear everything that's going on, but they won't be listening to everything that's going on. The other one is more of a diplomat, peacemaker, that person will hear and listen to everything that's going on, not just what they want to hear, or not just what they want to listen to. So I think that's kind of leader that Trump has been in his term. He only hears what he wants to hear, and he only listens to what he wants to listen. And so, dude, you have to work on your listening skills, because if you don't, it don't matter. It don't matter if you win the election again. You're gonna be ate up. You're gonna be swallowed by wolves eventually, and you're not gonna like it. So eventually, that's what happens. It don't matter who you are, what you are, how much power you think you got. If you're not in the right action, right conduct, right relationship, you're gonna get ate up sooner or later, and I guarantee you that, 100%. So either you're gonna have to start listening to what people are telling you, and yeah, it doesn't mean you have to follow their rules or their guidelines. It just means you have to make better decisions, more professional decisions that are much wiser. And later on, I always, in terms of talking about movies, and I think I talked about this last time. There's a movie called Delete. There's part 1 and part 2, and it basically it's about artificial intelligence taking over and ruling and running the planet, right? And this kid figures out that I don't know. He figures out some kind of a system, and they finally counter it, and they finally destroy it, or they shift the way it operates or something, and so they were able to overcome our AI. And I was talking to this with someone, I can't remember who, but we were talking about intelligence versus wisdom, and that's the difference between AI and human beings. Human beings, I believe, have the capability of being wiser than AI. In the end, in the final outcome, in the final frontier, AI will never be and can never be as wise as human beings can be. Period. So that's what my theory is. And with that in mind, AI will never ever be able to rule mankind. That's what I believe. That's what I think. So because again, AI can never be as wise as mankind can be. There's the most intelligent person in the world out there on the planet, and that doesn't mean that person is the wisest person on the planet. And the wisest person on the planet, well, he passed away several years ago, as far as I'm concerned. Back in 2008, I believe, Sai Baba, Sri Satya Sai Baba. And I don't think any AI technology or machinery could ever overcome him or defeat him in the sense of speaking. It just would never happen. So anyhow, with that in mind, again, Donald Trump, you might think you're a smart cookie, but it doesn't mean you're a wise cookie. And so I think it's safe to say that you're going to really, really want to go within to make your decisions, because if you don't, you're going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get hurt. Your family's going to get hurt. Your friends are going to get hurt. And that's not a threat. That's just life. That's just karma. What goes around comes around. And the universal law applies to everybody in the universe. Everybody in the universe. Period. Whether you like it or not. And if you want to know the universal law and all the laws of the universe, go read Alice Bailey. esoteric healing and esoteric psychology, I believe. Go read those books, and I can almost guarantee you that you'll learn a thing or two about a thing or two. Aloha, Roger. Thanks for stopping by. There you go. There's a wave back at you. So anyhow, again, and with everything that's being presented for the impeachment, as much as a lot of people would like to say, oh yeah, we need to impeach this guy, I'm with some of these people that are saying that there's not nearly enough there to impeach him with. And as much as people do not like this guy, I still have to, and I think it's a fine thin line whether he should be impeached or not. I think it's a very fine thin line. But if you really go straight to the point, his intentions, I don't know wholeheartedly that they were in the form of treason, committing treason against the United States. But I think it's a very fine thin line, and I believe that thin line falls on the side of him not being impeached, not being guilty of treason or whatever all these charges are. I do believe again that it's very close, but and there still may be some activity that might be there that will either crucify him or exonerate him. But it still remains to be seen. But one thing that has occurred, which I think is good, I think it's been necessary, is that Trump has chilled out. If you noticed, he hasn't come out and been mouthing off and throwing his weight around like he owns the United States, because Donald Trump, you don't own the United States. It actually owns you. So you need to think about that and realize that. We own you, not the other way around. You're doing service for us. Not just for yourself, but for us. And if you think that that's incorrect, you need to get the hell out of office. Period. Like now, like yesterday. Because that you need to straighten out your britches or get the hell out. Period. The presidency of the United States is right. It's a right. It's not. It's not something that we need to. We don't need you as much as you need us, Donald Trump. I guarantee you that 100%. 100%. We do not need you as much as you need us. So it's just like all these famous people out there. They are very great. Some of the best celebrities out there, the most awesome ones, are the ones that are most thankful and grateful for their fans. Duh. And and that's one thing I don't know that I've seen from you yet. I don't think I have. You are in no way, shape, or form grateful or thankful for your fans. Straighten it up before it's too late. And it's almost too late. I'd be very careful if I was you. So, because you're going to get office if you don't get your pants up and get them straightened out. I guarantee you, you're not going to like it. You're going to hate yourself. At the end of the day, you are going to hate yourself. So get it straight. So anyhow, moving on. There wasn't a lot of activity going on other than they had what's his name, the Attorney General, what's his name, Gabe. I want to say Gabe, but I don't think it's that. Here, I'll tell you here in a second. I can't remember. He looks like This guy looks like a friend of mine that I used to have. His name was Gabe. He looks just like him. And he was a lawyer as well. And then he turned out to be an asshole. But that's besides the point. Anyhow, he did a speech, a presentation. I want to say some kind of group about 2 weeks ago, and there were some things that he pointed out, and that I thought were interesting, but I you know, was he in the right direction? I think he was to some extent, but one of the things that he pointed out, and I wanted to say this on this video, but I somehow must have deleted it or something. I don't know what. But anyhow, one of the things that he pointed out was, and I think is very accurate, that needs to be looked at, addressed, is that if Donald Trump's power is stripped away from him as the president of the United States, what's that gonna leave to future presidents? How is that gonna leave future presidents of the United States? You know, they're gonna be spineless. They're gonna be. They're not gonna have any balls, right? They're not gonna have anything to derive from, to act from, to be a leader with, right? So it's going to be like that. So Donald Trump, not only do you need to be more professional and listen, acquire better listening skills, but you got to remember that if you leave that place of power in a sense of having no backbone at all, having without any sense of you're going to leave that place of power without any control. You're going to leave other presidents in a place that's not going to be good for the United States, not just the president. You're going to leave all of us. You're going to leave all of us looking like wimps instead of being confident and being healthy and being wise Americans. You're going to leave all of us looking like idiots, like fools. Not just yourself. And then you're going to leave the future president, the next president of the United States, in the same position. That's not cool at all. So you got to stop thinking about yourself and start thinking about everyone. Every citizen of the United States. Because if you don't, you're going to screw us all up. And that's not going to be cool at all. Really? Do we deserve that? Do the United States Americans deserve that shit? No, we don't. And I'm telling you, I'm not asking, I'm telling you, we do not deserve that. Not cool at all. So if you don't get your act together and you don't start thinking straight and going straight and making wise decisions, good healthy decisions, good right action, right conduct, right relationship decisions, then you're going to leave all of us stranded. Every one of us. Is that what you really want? Really? Or is this just something you want for the KKK and that's it? What kind of bullshit is that? Really? You want to promote prejudice, ignorance, and idiosyncrasies instead of being oh, all your kids and their kids and their kids are gonna hear about you. And what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? One of being an idiot, or one of being one of the most greatest, awesome presidents we've ever had, or at least we've had amongst others? Think about it. This is not just for me. I'm not just out here mouthing off just because I want to complain and I just want to get bent on ego bullshit. This is all about educating you, every one of you out there, and providing some good, healthy advice in terms of a proper, healthy way of life. Right? So anyhow, with that in mind, on Thursday, tomorrow we have the regular transmission meditation, which is the service meditation of Karma Yoga and Laya Yoga. We'll be doing that from 7 to 9 p.m. At Arizona time. And if you want to, and if you've never done this before, or even if you're a veteran transmission meditationer and never done this with me, you'll probably want to consider going to my website, spiritualimageproductions.com, spiritualimageproductions.com. On the left-hand side, scroll down to the transmission meditation on the air link. Click on that. That'll take you to a page where there's an introductory video on transmission meditation. Or you can Google it on YouTube, introductory transmission meditation video by Andrew Aloha. And that either way, I would listen to that, so that way you'll get some instructions in terms of how to go about doing transmission meditation. And then on Thursday, every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, so on Christmas Day as well, we're going to be doing a blessing transmission meditation from 2 to 4 p.m. Instead of from 7 to 9 p.m. tomorrow. But on Thursday, 2 to 4 p.m. Arizona time, we're going to be doing a blessing meditation. Maitreya Buddha will come down and bless all those that are participating. So it's very simple. You can get on it, and it's doesn't take a lot to figure out how to do that. So anyhow, I watched a number of movies, and there was several, I think maybe probably all of them, or most of them, these movies that are 2 thumbs up. I only got 2 thumbs, right? 1, 2. I'm not an 8. Well, anyhow, 2 thumbs up. All of the 2 thumbs up movies were basically funny movies, right? They're just hilarious, right? They're just so. Anyhow, the first movie that I want to cover is Pitch Perfect. As some of you have already heard me do a critique on Pitch Perfect. There's Pitch Perfect 1, 2, and 3, and this time I only watched Pitch Perfect 1 because that's all I got around to. But when there's hardly anything out there that I really want to watch, or I just like watching these movies because they're very inspirational, and they got a lot of really good music in it, and just the lingo, whoever wrote it up did the scripts on these, did a nice job on them, and so I just like watching. The Pitch Perfect one is the beginning of the Barton Bellas, right? The latest version of Barton Bellas, which is an a cappella group. And so they go through all this mirage of getting their act together and training, and then finally at the very end, Becca and Anna Kendrick, also who's Anna Kendrick, she finally takes over as the leader. But it's interesting because you see her becoming the leader of the group very early on. There's an episode where they're driving to the finals, and they run out of gas. But right before that, they sing the song, and all of a sudden, all the girls, all these girls are singing the song except her, and then they come to this pause, and everybody's waiting on her to sing to join in. So they're like choosing her to be the leader. So that's interesting to see that happening. So anyhow, very interesting movie, and I thought, man, they're going to come out with a Pitch Perfect 4, or they need to, because that I think that whole what do you want to say, franchise, I think is they may not be pulling off Academy Awards, but they are doing well in the box office, I'm pretty sure. So anyhow, so they I just found this like 2 or 3 days ago. There's going to be let me see. So in Pitch Perfect 1, it came out in 2012 with Anna Kendrick, Skylar Astin, Anna Camp, Rebel Wilson, Adam Devine, Brittany Snow, Alexis Knapp, Elizabeth Banks, and John Michael Higgins. And then with the Pitch Perfect 4, they have some of the people from Pitch Perfect that have been in all the Pitch Perfects, but they added some new ones in Pitch Perfect 3, and then in Pitch Perfect 4, they added some more new ones. So Pitch Perfect 4, it's coming out in 2022. So that's going to be interesting to see how that's going to work out. With Anna Kendrick, Brittany Snow, Anna Camp, Rebel Wilson, Alexis Knapp, Kelly Jackal, Esther Dean, Hannah Mae Lee, Haley Steinfeld, Haley Steinfeld, Chrissy Fitt, and are both new to in Pitch Perfect 3, and then there's Skylar Astin again, Adam Devine, Ben Platt, Elizabeth Banks, John Michael Higgins, who have all been in all 3 of them, and then the new ones for Pitch Perfect 4, because they're going to have this rival, right? They're going to have this rival with some other a cappella group, I believe so. So anyhow, Shelley Regner, Dan Stevens, Debbie Ryan, Emma Watson, interesting. Sarah Hyland, interesting. Lily James. Now she was in yesterday, and I think I don't know how that's going to work out, but it seems to me like she's going to be a good choice for Pitch Perfect 4. And then Laura Marano and Denny Blake will also be in Pitch Perfect 4. Their synopsis is: it's been 5 years since the Bellas became the first all-female group to winning the World Championships and reuniting for an overseas USO tour. All seems well until their Barton University reunion. They see that there's a new group called Bella X Gents. Ooh, the rivalry goes on. Has taken over the mantle of the original Barton Bellas. The Bellas see Bella X Gents' performance at the reunion show, which leaves them shocked, I should say, and disturbed by Bella X Gents' performance. The Bellas must find a way to get the original Barton Bellas back together to fight for the top of the university's music league crew once again. So there's going to be a rivalry. There's going to be some heavy-duty competition. There's probably going to be some dirty pooling going on. Who knows? But I think it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to work out. So anyhow, the next movie that I want to talk about is this year. I went to Redbox, and this one movie and the next movie are Redbox rentals that I got. The Art of Racing in the Rain with Kevin Costner, who's the dog's voice. Milo Ventimiglia, I don't know. Amanda Seyfried and Ryan Kira Armstrong. Now that movie wasn't what I thought it was going to be all about racing. It was more about the family life and romance. It was like a romance comedy type of thing, and this racer hooks up with this dog, this puppy, and so he grows up with the racer, and then he gets involved with Amanda Seyfried, and they have a family and all this stuff going, and then she dies of cancer. Oh my God, right? It's one of those movies. So they have a kid, but before she dies, she has a kid, and then the girl, it ends up being a girl, and she appears at the very end, and they move on. So it was kind of sad, but it was a fun movie to watch, especially if you're a dog lover. That would be a fun movie to watch for you. 2019 again at the Redbox, the Peanut Butter Falcon. Now this was an amazing movie to watch. This was actually a good part for Shia LaBeouf, Dakota Johnson, Thomas Hayden Church, but they introduced a guy by the name of Zachary Gottsagen, who has Down syndrome. I don't think that he was faking that. I'm pretty sure that it looked like, and maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like this guy really had Down syndrome. But this, I've seen other, maybe, and I don't even know if it's a handful, but a couple of other actors that had Down syndrome or something like that, and they were in movies, but they didn't have big parts. This guy had a pretty good sized part, and he has Down syndrome. And wow, I was impressed. He did a really good job. He has Down syndrome. He's in this nursing home or something, and Dakota Johnson is one of the I want to call her CNAs, one of the case workers or the staff there, and he Zachary, his roommate, helps him escape. Right, he jumps out through the window and takes off, and then he runs into Shia LaBeouf, and they go on this journey. Oh my God, it was funny. And the reason that Zachary runs away is because he wants to become a wrestler. He watches this video over and over and over and over, I don't know, 100 times or whatever, and he wants to go become a wrestler. So he wants to go to this place. I think it was in Florida. I want to say North Carolina, but I think it was in Florida. Anyhow, he wants to go to this to find his hero and have him train him. So they do. They find the hero. And he's no longer wrestling anymore, because this is like an old tape that he keeps watching over and over again. So he's no longer wrestling. So the guy decides, okay, fine, I'll help him out. So he does. He trains him anyhow, and they have this wrestling match. And oh my God, it's really funny. But there's some really interesting stuff. And again, this guy just did an amazing job. For somebody that has Down syndrome, it's hard to say what their capabilities are and how capable, how talented they can be. And this guy really pulled it off. He did a really nice job. Good job, Zachary. Right. So then, Chips came out 2017. I believe I watched this on Vudu. I've been watching a lot of movies on Vudu, and it's not like Netflix. Netflix, every show is, except for maybe 5% or whatever, 25% are movies, but most of them are all TV movies, right? Series or whatever. It's like, who gives a crap, right? So anyhow, and most of the TV series are shit, right? They ain't worth it. They're not even 1.5. A lot of them are just 1, and that's about it. Thumbs up, right? So anyhow, Chips, Michael Pena, Dax Shepard, Rosa Salazar, Jessica McNamee, Christian Bell, Vincent Onofrio, Isaiah Whitlock, Dr. Jane, Isaiah Whitlock Jr., and then Jane Kosmarek, and Carly Hatter, from out of 2017. Oh my God. I don't know if you've ever watched the TV series Chips. You know that a lot of TV series in the back in the day were fun to watch. They weren't like just trying to make a buck. You know, most or all of them. I want to say all of them, but probably most of the TV series these days they just want to make a buck. Oh, let's put something out there. Like with this movie, Gloria Bell, with Julianne Moore, John Turturro, Michael Cera, Brad Garrett, Holland Taylor, Jeannie Triplehorn, Chris Mulkey, Sean Austin. Came out 2018. Just a romance type of a movie, and I swear all they were doing is just trying to make a buck. They threw some lines together. Hey, let's put the movie together and make some money, and that's all that was. I gave that movie a 1 thumb up, and it was kind of sad to see that Julianne Moore was in that movie, because I've seen her in some really good movies. She's done some really good parts, and that movie was really pathetic. So I just couldn't. But anyhow, Chips. Michael Pena is actually an FBI agent, and so they have some other officers in the agency, LA agency, who are stealing, they're hijacking money trucks, or whatever you call them, right? So Dax Shepard is a new guy on the team, and he comes in, and he's a ex motorcycle rider, right? He's got all these broken bones. He's got all these operations, and the only reason they let him in is because he can ride motorcycle, right? So he gets hooked up with Michael Pena, and the heat is on. So they figure out all the bad guys in the force, and they straighten out the program, right? She's Out of My League, 2010, with Jay Baruchel, Alice Eve, Kristen Ritter, T.J. Miller, Nate Torrance, Lindsay Sloan. You know, it's one of those. What do I want to say? It's one of those Beauty and the Beast type of movies, right? Yeah, Jay is not like one of those beasts, but it's like that. And Alice Eve is this hot babe, right? She comes into the picture, and Jay and his buddies work as security at an airport. And so Alice leaves. She leaves her phone on accident at the airport. So Christian Ritter, her friend, calls it up and says, "Hey," Alice ends up talking to Jay, and Jay answers the phone and says, "Hey, we got your phone." So Alice says, "Well, hang on to it. When I get back, well, I'll get it from you." So it goes on from there, and they have all this dating going on, and then Christian Ritter's going, "Well, this guy's not even your type. Why are you dating this guy?" Blah blah blah. So anyhow, it goes on, and the guy gets the girl, right? That's the way the cookie crumbles. So it was fun movie. I believe this movie had some good music in it too as well, and so it was just funny to watch. So anyhow, 2004, $1 Million Baby, with Clint Eastwood, Hilary Swank, Morgan Freeman, Jay Baruchel, Brian O'Byrne, Margot Martindale, Ricky Lindholm, and Michael Pena again, Anthony Mackie. $1 Million Baby. Now it was interesting to see all these people. This all-star lineup. I watched it before this movie, but it's been a long time since I watched it. But I didn't realize all these people were in it. So it was interesting, and this was actually a good. I believe Clint Eastwood directed it, if I remember right, and I don't know that he wrote it, but I believe he directed it, and maybe he wrote it too. But anyhow, it was a good movie. Now, it was a good movie for him and also Morgan Freeman. I don't know that I've ever seen both of them in the same movie together, but this was a good movie for both of them to be in. It was good parts. And then Hilary Swank is the $1 million baby, and so it was interesting. There was some friction there now going on. It was pretty intense, and you know, at the end was kind of threw you for a loop, but anyhow, and I think it was like it was it rested on Clint Eastwood's fears. I think it was like one of his fears, the ending part, as a trainer, as a boxing trainer, and so but it was what it was, and he went ahead and lived it out as a character. He lived it out as a trainer, and he moved on. So it was a good movie. The ending, there's a couple of cheesy parts in it, and the way that Hilary Swank gets at the very end, she gets knocked out, and you know, as a fighter, I don't know that you would ever, any fighter would be stupid enough to let that last hit come in, but you know, who knows. So I thought that was kind of cheesy, that last hit, but and probably could have had a better ending maybe, but I still gave it a 2. I thought it was very interesting. The First Wives Club with Goldie Hawn, Bette Midler, Diane Keaton, Maggie Smith, Sarah Jessica Parker, Dan Hedaya, Stockard Channing, Victor Garber, Stephen Collins, Elizabeth Berkley, Marcia Gay Harden. Let me see, and then so anyhow, that's an older movie, but I still gave it a 2. It was well written. It was well done. Of course, the acting was well done, and they had some good music in it, I believe, if I remember right. You know, these women, their husbands leave them hanging, and so they get together. They figure it out, and they get together, and they pull a fast one on their husbands, and so they basically make their husbands their bitch, right? At the very end. So it was kind of funny. No, it wasn't kind of, it was. But anyhow, they go on this streak and really get their husbands act straight, right? Help their husbands get their act straight. There's some really good funny stuff in there. It was pretty interesting. Now, one thumbs up. Starting out with, and I just watched that a couple of days ago, 2009. And again, these next 2 movies are from Redbox. Dora and the Lost City of Gold. At first I thought, I don't know, that's going to be kind of a cheesy movie, but Isabella Moner, or actually she changed her name to Isabella Merced, is a singer, which I didn't know that she was in Transformers with I believe Mark Wahlberg, if I remember right. But anyhow, she did a really good job in that movie, and I thought, and I remember her, and with this movie, I remembered her, and I thought, I want to check that out. And then now this movie would be a good movie to watch in the big screen, especially with your kids, your teenager kids or whatever. There are some amazing scenes. I believe this was filmed out in, a lot of it was done in Peru, and there was some amazing stuff, just scenery in the background, just awesome stuff. Anyhow, this came out this year with Isabella Moner again, Merced, Eva Longoria, Michael Pena again, Eugenio Derbez, Danny Trejo, Jeffrey Wahlberg, Madeline Madden, Nicholas Combe, Tamara Morrison. I don't know if Jeffrey Wahlberg is akin to Mark Wahlberg or not, but maybe, I don't know. I didn't take the time to check, but anyhow, a very interesting combination of Matt Harrison Ford in the movie. What is that movie? I want to say one of those movies it has Harrison Ford in it. I don't know why I can't remember. I had it on my tongue earlier, but anyhow, it's one of those mystery adventures, mummy, like a mummy type of adventure with oh my God, I can't remember. Anyhow, it's one of those explorer adventure movie types, coupled with but only aloha Bruce, aloha Roger. Hey, are you guys still watching? But anyhow, why can't I remember here? Okay, that's it. I'm gonna look it up right now. Hang on. Aha. Why can't? Oh, Indiana Jones. Yeah, well, yeah, Indiana Jones type of movie. Except it's for kids, more for teenagers than it is for adults. But again, it was an interesting plot. There was a lot of interesting stuff in it. There's some, and there was also some history. I don't know how accurate the history was, but there was some history in it which was interesting. Inca, I think it was Inca history and Peruvian history maybe. So it was interesting. And then the what's her name? Isabella did some singing in it. Not too much singing, but anyhow. And then I went on, and she just came out with a video. I can't remember what it's called, but anyhow, so she's making some good progress. I wouldn't be surprised if this girl, I don't know how, I think, what, she's 18 right now or whatever. She'll probably be an Academy Award winner within the next few years, 4 or 5 years. I can almost bet you money. And maybe even a Grammy Award winner as well. I don't know. It's hard to say. If she sticks with it, she probably will be a Grammy Award winner. That video that I watched seemed pretty interesting. It was interesting because it coupled a mix of Mexican movie maybe, or Latino type of movie. I mean music with pop music or something like that. So she's not just singing stuff that's all just pop, culture, American culture type of music. She's coupling it with Latin or Spaniard or Inca culture as well. So it was an interesting mix, and she had some nice stuff in it. So it's interesting to see how she's developing and growing. The next movie is 2012 Delete again. AI takes over the world. I don't know. Can that happen? Can that really happen in reality, in true life? Maybe, but again, AI, I don't think will ever be any wiser than mankind will ever be. Ever, not ever. So I don't foresee AI taking over the world, not anytime soon, if at all. So anyhow, and then The Goods came out 2009. Live Hard, Sell Hard. Jeremy. The Goods. Live Hard, Sell Hard is the name of the movie. But anyhow, Jeremy Piven, Rames, James Brolin, Catherine Hahn, and Jordana Spiro, David Koshner, Ed Helms, Ken Jeong, and Rob Riggo. that was one of those what do I want to say, car salesman. I can't remember what the name of that play in that movie is, but anyhow, it's a car salesman type of movie, and this guy is hired, Jeremy Piven is hired to come in and pick up, help pick up the pace with this dealership that's getting ready to close down. So he comes in and takes over, and man, it's on. So anyhow, it was interesting, funny. There's some cheesy stuff in it, but it's good for a laugh if you want to get a good laugh, and especially if you're a salesman, you might get a kick out of it. So anyhow, especially a car salesman. 2002, the new guy, DJ Qualls, Zoe Deschanel, Jared Mixon, Perry Shen, Eliza Dushku, Eddie Griffin, Lyle Lovett, and then Charlie O'Connor. This guy goes through this transformation. He's a real geek, and he's kind of out of the box because he's like more of a bro. He's more of a guy that hangs out in the hood, and so he connects with this guy. He's in prison, and he trains him how to be a badass, Mr. Joe Badass, right? So and I mean, there's some really cheesy stuff in it, but there's some good laughs in there, and there's some funny stuff in there. So anyhow, it goes through this transformation, and he I think at the end he gets the girl, and again, you know, it is what it is. The new guy. Oh wait. Oh yeah, that was the new guy. The Sweetest Thing came out in 2002. Cameron Diaz, Christina Applegate, Selma Blair, Thomas Jane, Jason Bateman. Another romance comedy. Cameron Diaz goes out with all these guys. She's used to being the tease, I believe is a good word, and she finally has enough, right? She's had it, and then she runs into this guy at this bar, at this club, right? And she gets hooked on him. So come to find out, he's getting married, and so she doesn't know that. So they go, her and Christina Applegate go on this road trip, and they go find him, and they go to the wedding that he's supposed to be at. Come to find out, he's the one who's getting married, but he ends up not getting married at the very end, and then he ends up hooking up with Cameron Diaz and blah blah blah, and it just goes on. High Fidelity came out in 2000. John Cusack, Ivan. I don't even know how to say this name. Hjejle. I've never. I want to say Hazel, but I don't know if that's how you say it. But anyhow, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Joan Cusack, Tim Robbins, Lisa Bonet, and Todd Luiso. John Cusack owns this record shop, and he ends up I don't know, where John Black, what's his name? Really? Why isn't his name in there? What's his name? Is in this as well. John Black. I want to say John Black, but that's Fidelity. What? You idiot. I want to say John Black, but I don't think that's his name. I don't know why they don't have him in here. Oh, here he. Oh, Jack Black. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't put him in there, but anyhow, John Cusack has this record shop, and you know they sell vinyls. It's like the old record shop, right? They sell all these old stuff, and Jack Black and one of these other guys. Yeah, they practically work for free. I don't know if they work for free, but they just came into the shop. They said we want to work for you. I don't know how their arrangement is for finances, but anyhow, he goes out. John goes out and goes on this. I mean, it wasn't an incredibly amazing movie, but there was just some laughs in it. And he hooks up with who is that? Ivan Hazel. I think that's her name. Let me see. Yeah, Ivan Hazel. I think he ends up getting married or end up married to her, and so anyhow he kind of wants to prove his self-worth to her, and I don't know. It wasn't an incredible movie. It could even almost be a 1 thumb up movie, but I threw it in there just because there was some laughs in there. So anyhow, Shanghai Noon with Jackie Chan, Owen Wilson, Lucy Liu, Brandon Morrell, Roger Yon, Xander Berkeley, came out in 2000. This princess gets kidnapped, and so and goes to America to find her and bring her back, and then somehow Owen Wilson gets caught up in the mix, and he's one of those cowboys, right? And so they find her and rescue her, and then come to find out the princess doesn't want to go back to China or Japan or wherever she came from. She wants to stay in America. So they end up getting into this brawl, and she ends up staying in America anyhow. So Mission to Mars, Tim Robbins, Gary Sinise, Don Cheadle, Connie Nielsen, Jerry O'Connell, Kim Delaney, and Jill Reed. Came out in 2000. These guys, they go to, and you know, it's the plot is interesting, and they have some interesting visual effects in it, but there's just a lot of cheesy stuff. At the very end, these guys, they have a group, team that goes out to Mars, and then something happens. They get caught up in some kind of paranormal thing, and they get killed except for what's his name, Don Cheadle, and he ends up surviving. So they send another team which includes Tim Robbins, Gary Sinise, and Connie Nielsen, and Jerry O'Connor. They send another team to go rescue them, and they discover this. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but on Mars they have a big face, and I don't know if they've shown it yet or not. I think they've shown it somewhere, but anyhow, they have this big face on Mars, and they go to the face, and it becomes some kind of a paranormal thing, gadget, and it's like the protector or the guardian of the planet, and so they go inside, and all this weird stuff happens, and they take off, and then I think Gary Sinise ends up staying there, and you know, there's all this stuff about aliens and this alien history that happens on Mars, and I mean the interest that was a lot of that was interesting, but is how real is it? I don't know, but you know, again, there's some cheesy stuff. So but again, I think the plot was definitely in the right direction. I just think they could have done maybe a better job with the script and the presentation of it. So anyhow, finally, there's Rushmore. That's an older movie, 1998. Jason Schwartzman, Bill Murray, Olivia Williams, Seymour Cassel, Connie Nielsen, Mason Gamble, and Sarah Tanaka. Basically, this kid, high school kid, has the hots for one of the teachers, and then Bill Murray, who's been divorced, I believe, ends up getting involved with her instead, and Jason Schwartzman, who's the high school kid, gets all jealous and all this stuff. But he's like a genius, like type of a kid. He does all this stuff. But I mean, even though he does all this stuff with all these groups, he really doesn't have a life of his own. He's like, his life is through all these groups and doing all these projects and all this stuff. And then he writes some plays, a couple of plays, and they present them. And I don't know, it was there was some interesting, funny stuff, but it was I just had lackluster. But for an older movie, 1998, it didn't do too bad. Again, back in the 1900s, early 2000, they had some really good movies. That they're not like today's movies that just want to make a buck or two and put out a movie just so we can make a buck, whatever. So it's like that. So anyhow, if you got any questions, comments, moans, groans, get a hold of me. If you want to do some kind of a session, astrology session or whatever, get a hold of me. Meantime, you can go to my website and learn about the ascended citizens, being right action, right conduct, right relationship. With those intentions is all you need to be one. And then if you want to formalize it even more, you can become go to and become an independent party and become an ascended citizen through the political party section as well. So anyhow, again, we're doing a Thanksgiving meditation, 2 to 4 p.m. Arizona time. And again, if you want more information on that, go to spiritualimageproductions.com. Go to the transmission meditation on the air page. Click on that. Watch the intro video, and then you can hook up with us on Thursday. We're also, and of course, we also do the regular group meditation tomorrow night. And sometimes I get a lot of people. Sometimes I get a few people joining me. It varies, but that's pretty regular every Wednesday. So you can join in there, and then go from there. So anyhow, have a Goddess week and a Turkey Day. Be the love that you are, always have been, and always will be. Aloha.